Hello Gecko and Isopod fans, this is Wally Kern with Supreme Gecko. Just cutting up some oranges for our dubias. Don't know if I'm buying into these plastic knives, but they seem to work pretty well. This past weekend we had the opportunity to celebrate our granddaughter's birthday. And for her birthday we brought in Brandon Fowler of Roaming Reptiles. Now if you're from California, you know this name because he's heavily into the educational programs from California, and he recently moved to Wisconsin. Through a Madison area Herp Society auction, we were fortunate enough to bid on one of his programs and brought him in for our granddaughter's birthday. It was both a pleasure and an honor to bring in Brandon because he knows his stuff, he knows how to talk to kids, he knows how to educate. So check out this week's video. It's going to be fun. You're going to see some people doing some things that they've never ever done before and overcoming some of their fears thanks to Brandon. So make sure you watch the entire video for that. Make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe, and the notifications all if you haven't already. Let's check out the show. Pizza boy. That's my camera. I'm taping you. Say hi. No, don't hold the camera. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Batman.
Hi, Batman. Hi. Oh, pizza's here. Pizza's here. Let's go back. I should go get a pizza. Is there a baby in here?
What happened is your grandpa went down by the river, he saw a snake, it moved, and he thought it was chasing him. And the snake was just trying to get away from him, it was not chasing him. Your grandpa was just scared of snakes, right? So, I don't expect people to run out and go buy a snake or a tarantula or anything else after my show, but at least respect why they're here on this planet and the purpose they serve. So we'll start with some smaller ones, we'll go with some bigger ones, we'll get everybody involved. So if you have a fear, today's your lucky day, you can overcome that fear. If you don't like it, blame Wally, he booked me. So, we are gonna start with one of my favorite snakes, where we used to live in California. This is a California king snake. One of my absolute favorite snakes we have in California. So his name is Elvis. And Elvis is almost full grown. He may get a little bit bigger, but not much. But these guys, where we're from in Kern County, they are all over the place. Especially if you drive 6, 7 o'clock at night. A lot of times you'll see them out on the asphalt warming their bodies up on the road. Which means, unfortunately, a lot of them get killed. They get hit by cars because people don't see them. Or they say, oh my God, there's a snake, and they run over it, right? But you can see, he is a big, big baby. But Elvis, anybody know why they're called king snakes? Why?
Because,
Think about it. No? It's all right. I forget all the time, you know?
isn't it king cobra or king snake?
It's not a king cobra. If it were, I wouldn't be holding it like this.
Why do snakes always stick their tongue out all the time?
They're smelling,
Yeah.
right? So they have to stick their tongue out so they can smell and see what's going on around them. Make sure there's no food or danger.
He's smelling here right now.
He is. He likes me. So they are called king snakes because these guys will actually eat rattlesnakes. All right, this is a non-venomous snake, but they will eat rattlesnakes. They're immune to that rattlesnake venom. So if a rattlesnake bites it, it's not a big deal. They'll just turn around and eat the rattlesnake. So these guys serve a very important purpose. They keep that rattlesnake population under control. So we have to have these guys around. So if you see any snakes on the road, leave them there. That's a good thing. You want them around, right? I always told people, if you see a king snake in your yard, that's a good thing. Leave them there. They're not gonna come in your house and hurt anything or eat your pet dog. You'll be safe, right? So come here. I know that. Come here. I got the head.
What?
Okay? You're gonna hold the body. Hold hands out. You don't have to be scared. Look,
Do you want Daddy to come up with you?
Do you remember Cindy?
look at the
You
head.
remember Cindy with her snake?
I have the head right here.
Yeah,
Okay?
Can I pick someone?
You can.
they're sort of like a gecko with no legs.
Can I pick 4 people?
One.
For right now, everyone's gonna get to touch it in a little bit.
Sienna.
Okay, you stand right here. Hold hands out.
There you go. Good job.
They actually feel nice.
The worst thing I was gonna do is go to the bathroom on you.
Oh.
No, no. No, I don't want him.
You're not holding the tail, so he's not gonna get a potty on. You're safe.
No.
Yeah. He only goes to the bathroom every once in a while.
Oh, well.
You guys can sit down. So I'll come around, you guys can pet Elvis. Huh? You wanna go last?
I want to feel the texture of the skin. Is it like something?
Like, no, it's like when somebody else is holding it.
Oh, I
Oh, they
heard.
feel really nice.
Say it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like.
Feel it. He's cool.
Should I, Crystal?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I need those. I feel like those need those. See?
Have you ever touched a snake before?
First time. How about that, Brandon?
It's the first animal I brought out.
She's going back for
Look at Crystal. Crystal, this is weird.
Jess, is that the first time you've touched? No.
I had a family friend that had a snake.
It's just a tail. You're all right. Turn this way. Turn this way. Turn. There you go.
I'm gonna send Daddy this picture.
Yeah, good job.
Good job. Hold on. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
All right. Turn around.
Got a nice necklace there, dude.
Good job.
I'm just hey, can
It is
I
cold.
can do it it's hard, but then like crispy at the same time.
Right.
It's so can I just who can
Well, we'll do everybody, so it's okay.
Awesome job, guys.
Good job, buddy.
It's going way better than I thought.
You want to do it again?
I wanted to try.
You can't scream when it's gets all weird.
Is he gonna be a wax?
You will be absolutely fine, I
It's
promise.
gonna be
I got the head.
okay.
Okay? So take a deep breath, relax. Okay? Just like that. There you go. See, you're doing it.
Okay. That's good.
Good job.
I
Perfect.
just wanted him
As long as
I have this one. This one, I need a volunteer.
I like the way you said it.
Right there. Right there.
For me.
the little
Now, here's the deal with this next one.
Let's play around with this beer.
I didn't know people could be
okay.
scared of these, right? I did a show when I was in California. The principal came up. I put this animal in this guy's hands, and I started talking about it. When I turned back around, he was like white.
Oh.
And so I had to take it away from him really quick, so I was gonna pass out. So turn around, don't look.
Take it behind you, the scratching.
Great.
All right, you ready? I promise it'll only hurt for a minute.
Holy cow.
Both hands out for me.
Holy cow.
It's little.
ready?
Whatever it is little.
Yeah.
Do you know?
No, but I can feel claws.
Yeah, they're sharp.
Yeah. Oh.
Now, you saw Elvis, the California king snake. This is another California king snake. She's done a couple of shows, but this is actually the start of her doing her full-time schedule of doing shows. So we have Elvis. This is Priscilla.
Of course.
You got to do it. So this is still a California king snake, but this is a striped cow king.
Okay.
But I think she is absolutely beautiful. She has just cool pattern on her. Yeah.
That's cute.
I won't let any kids hold her because she is new. She's still trying to figure everything out, right?
We don't want to scare her or anything.
How many months old is she?
She's about 1.5 years old.
Oh. Yep, it is.
This one is very special because this one, I was sent this one by a good friend of mine here in Wisconsin, and 20 of them came in. These guys are wild caught, and they shouldn't have been. And when I asked, okay, you want to send me one, that's great. Which one are you sending me? The reply was the meanest one. And I was like, well, okay. And they said, it's just gonna be a pet, right? It's just a house pet. You're not gonna be able to use it in shows. I worked with him, got him set up, and now he's doing shows. He's been doing full-time shows for over a year. And he would bite me every opportunity he got when I first got him. Every day I'd get him out, he'd bite me. And getting bit by one of these guys is probably one of the most unpleasant feelings around. They have a very intense bite force. So this is George.
He's a gecko.
George is a monkey tail skink or a prehensile tail skink. So they're called prehensile tails because you can see that tail wraps around my arm. He can hold on, he can grab things. And these guys are really amazing, amazing animals. So these guys are herbivores. You know what an herbivore is? What's an herbivore?
Trying to get off her hand.
Anybody?
Crystal, think about it.
Eats plants.
Eats plants, fruits, vegetables, all that kind of good stuff. He loves bananas. Bananas is probably his favorite food. But you can also see he has long, sharp, curved nails, right? Those nails will grip onto anything, right? I have scars up and down my arms because of George, right? Once he digs in, he digs in.
I'm scared.
You don't have to be scared. But try to give her a hug. Just like that.
This is heavy.
Turn around so everybody can see you.
I mean, I'll hold it too, but I want to take so it stands like that.
She's big time heavy.
Big time heavy.
What is it?
A tegu.
Big way.
Come on, Crystal. Come on, everyone's loving it.
Crystal, you hold one down, right?
Come on, guys. Isn't that
You're
heavy,
so
Sam?
cold.
Likes it that way.
Oh, we should get easy one.
So would the tail be normally as long, but just way thicker?
It would be longer.
But thicker?
Yeah, it'd be a little thicker too.
Thicker. I figured. Like that top half? Yeah, it's crazy how thick it is.
Hi, Sam.
It was
You
super
want to hold her?
heavy.
Okay,
You know
everyone's
you
done.
want
You
her.
can hold her.
He's like, what's my favorite color?
Smarter than the average bear?
Crystal, you aren't holding him?
Crystal, you should. It feels very.
I'll hold him with you?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
No, that's all right, don't force it.
No.
This girl.
So this, his name is Cow. And Cow is a milk snake.
Looks like, okay, yeah.
See what I did there with the name?
Yes. And same with King. Elvis. Got it.
I gotta remember them. You have so many animals, it's kind of hard to remember names sometimes. So Cow is an albino milk snake. And you can see with Cow, I can rub on his head. I can do anything I want. He just kind of does his
Wait, his
thing.
tongue
He's
has
very tolerant.
tip white on his tongue.
Yeah? So in the wild, chances are you would not see an albino milk snake. They wouldn't last long, they're too bright, they can't camouflage themselves. But in captivity, they're absolutely beautiful. Now, does anybody know why they are called milk snakes? How did they get that name milk snake?
Because they have white parts and the white tip of their tongue.
No?
Because the bottom of their tail looks like milk a little.
No? You ever end up? Parents, anybody know why they're called milk snakes?
I think I know for now, but I don't remember. I feel like, isn't there another snake that's similar to that, and the one is poisonous and one isn't, or am I getting that mixed up with something else?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know why it's called a milk snake? Does it give you breast?
That'd be weird.
That would be real weird.
So they're called milk snakes because a farmer used to think these snakes would go out on a pasture and steal milk from from cows. And it was stealing milk, right? Snakes don't drink milk. If you have a snake, don't try to give it some milk. It won't work. But that's how they got their name, right? And it just kind of stuck. But these guys, by far, one of the best pet snakes for kids. You honestly can't beat these guys. So does anybody want to hold her? Sure.
Hold it.
So turn around. Both hands up.
On his belly.
I like these guys because they're a little more active. They like to move around.
Are they venomous?
No.
You know, you never know. Right, exactly.
Right, right.
You ready?
This is sort of-
Can I hold it one more time?
What is this?
Hold on.
You have such a serious face in your
There you go.
Good job, Aubrey.
There you go.
Oh, look at you. Grandpa's getting your pictures. No.
You gotta be careful because she's not an eagle's face.
Did you hold this one?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
He looks like he's got a little heart on.
That's not your chair. This is your chair.
Oh, yeah.
This is
That's big in the crack.
Maybe it's not a turtle.
your
Oh, there it is. Guy? Wanna touch it?
So Bruce is my American alligator. I have always wanted one of these. And now I have one. We have his mouth taped. That's state rule. We have to do that. It's just a safety thing. But at home, he's a big baby. You know, once you pick him up and hold him, he's very mellow. We're working on target training him, hand commands. These guys are very, very intelligent. I don't think people give animals enough credit for how smart they can be, right? These guys they know their hand commands once you teach them. You know, raise and lower. I mean, it's really amazing. Just like that.
Look at that.
Now,
I feel like a reptile wrangler.
I hear people all the time, especially experts, say, oh, people shouldn't own this pet, people shouldn't own that pet. You should be able to own anything you want to own as long as you're willing to learn and understand that animal and give that animal everything it needs. If you cannot do that, you should not own it. If you can do that, by all means, get one, right? But you have to understand what these guys can do and how big they get and how much food they eat. Bruce, at this size, is an eating machine. All the time, he's ready to eat, right? But definitely one of my favorite animals.
How
You
big
right?
will it get?
Yeah, fine. You
So-
said eating machine, and I'm thinking my thumb is right there.
No, he can't open it. But so he's a little stunted, so he won't get as big, you know, the 10-foot, anything like that. He'll probably stay around 5-6 foot somewhere.
See, now where do you keep him when he reaches that?
He has his own room. So he has literally a 10-by-10 room in our basement where everything is. He has a pool. He has everything he needs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you think in some states like California they're concerned because people might let them loose and?
No, it's because California's crazy.
Well, but I mean, in some states, certain animals.
They wouldn't
but
survive.
they're not native, certain animals, even though they're not native, can survive and then it messes with things.
Right,
and
they
things.
wouldn't survive.
Okay.
But, you know,
Yeah, come here, so we can get a picture. Don't you wanna show your
Yeah.
phone, a picture of you holding it?
good job.
Thank you.
They, here to dragon for more.
I thought about getting.
You just wanted to
everything I read about
Is he a little heavy?
like a lot.
Is he heavy?
Look at that. Went from a snake, now you're holding an alligator.
Yeah, that's got him.
Oh, look at
see
him,
that.
Crystal.
Wait, I want his tail.
Do you wanna hold it?
Can you hold his tail?
I can. So,
Well,
under
here,
his
turn around
belly.
and look at Grandpa the one you're holding.
Let's turn this way. There you go, just like
I want
that.
his claws.
You're not gonna
His
get
claws
close, I
won't
got
get
it.
you, honey. Put your hands under his belly and then
You're doing it. Just like that.
you got him.
Good job.
I did it.
Very good.
Good job.
He kind of adopted her, now he takes care of her. Her name is Dorothy.
I'm sorry, whose snake is this?
This is my son, little Brandon.
Excellent.
So this is Dorothy. Dorothy is a hypo jungle boa, and she is absolutely beautiful. So I got her because someone moved out of their house and abandoned her. They left her there just to die, right? And I got a phone call asking if I could take her. When I first got her, she was a little skittish, a little scared. Now she is an absolute sweetheart. I can hand feed her, and I don't worry about it. She's just the perfect snake for me. Why is she a sweetheart? Because we love her. And we give her lots and lots of attention. Good job. So she is a constrictor, so she will, wrap around and pull. You can pet her, okay? We don't put these guys around your neck.
No, no.
These guys are a little stronger than the king snake.
Why does it like start off like skinny at the head and then
How long does it take for it to constrict something?
Oh, seconds.
So then what's the
like when it's
rule of thumb when
You can hold her.
no.
That's fantastic.
and how much does she weigh?
20 pounds, baby?
Yeah. Wow. You guys gonna hold it the same?
Is that it? Are you sure?
Tanner, you will.
All right. Here's the deal. I encourage kids to own reptiles. I encourage parents to encourage kids to own reptiles. But do your research first. Please learn about the animals first. We have a great herp society, right? Masonary Herp Society. Awesome group. They have all the information. Go on Facebook, find them. You want to learn about these animals. Don't just go to a pet store and buy one because you think it's cute, right? A lot of pet stores won't tell you that this little snake can get 7 foot, 8 foot, right? So you need to understand what you're getting into, because we have rescues like Friends of Scales that bring in these animals because people don't do their research, right? Do your research. We shouldn't have rescues at all. Rescues should be nowhere. But unfortunately, we have to have them. So do your research first, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed our Zoom. Thank you guys so much for having me, and see you next time. Thank you guys.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 911, anybody?
Wedding day?
Oh,
I had a
worse
huge
than your
fear,
wedding
yeah.
day?
Oh,
All right.
that's funny.
So what we're gonna do is you're just gonna look at her. Okay, and what I stress to people is, no matter how much fear you have of an animal, there's beauty in every animal, right? In every animal, no matter what, there is some beauty in there if you're willing to look at it. And fears are everywhere. Everybody has a fear of something. And I tell people all the time, fear is like a brick wall. And every time you overcome that fear, you knock a brick out of that wall, right? And that light shines through. And so it's one less thing you have to worry about. Now, if you look at her, you can see she's just walking. She's not doing anything aggressive. She's not showing any signs. She's just being a spider, just being a tarantula, right? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna put one hand out, and I'm gonna put her on your hand. And if she walks across, I'll get her on the other side, okay? So deep breath, relax. It's no big deal.
Grab her if I go down. Seriously, this is way farther than I've ever been before in my
So
life.
just take a deep breath, relax, just look at her legs, look what she's doing. She's just relaxing, doing her thing.
Is it tickle?
And I'm gonna push her off this side, and she's gonna go right under my hand.
I was good until I pushed her off on the side.
And you just did it.
Wow,
So
you
now-
did it.
Okay,
Both hands.
yep.
Okay, put them together. So put them out flat. There you go, just like that. We're gonna set her right there. There. Now she's just gonna relax.
Wow.
Did you ever think
No.
this day would come?
No,
I'm
I
gonna
did
go
not.
with her.
No.
If there's somebody standing behind me right now,
Smile for me.
And
That was the fakest smile I've ever seen. in my life. See, look, she's waving.
Cool.
She's right.
that's just because
that's her pre-attack mode.
So just move this hand.
Yep.
Just like that. Just like that. You did it.